Hello, writers. Come write with me. My name is Michaela Greenwood. I create worlds for mind adventures. Welcome to my channel, Write with Michaela. I'm very excited to have you here on my channel. I'm excited for you to be writing with me. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell so we can go on this journey together. Today is story time, or the day of our chapter exchange. You give me a chapter, I give you a chapter. Healthier than a cookie exchange. If you're writing with me and you wish to exchange chapters, then send your chapter with written permission to writewithmichaela@gmail.com. So take the Write with Michaela up there and add the @ and gmail.com. I will post the email address at the end of the video and in the description below. I'm looking forward to reading your chapters. All chapters are writing prompts read on the channel, whether they are mine or another writer's work, are copyright protected material, and no one may use any part in writing their own story. This story is PG-13, so if you're under 13 years of age, you need parental guidance. This story is in its rough draft stage, just as the last stories and writing prompts we've heard. The title of this story is Princess Emnorawyn Stygerguard, and today we are reading Chapter 5. If you would like to read along, then send to the email I stated earlier and request a PDF of the chapter. Make sure you are specific. Now let's start. Princess Emnorawyn Stygerguard, Chapter 5, Training. Princess Emnorawyn was soon in her armor, but the outer cloak was too wet, so the maids left it hanging. Emnorawyn left her pouches with her other clothes for now. The soldier brought Princess Emnorawyn to Prince Hadley. Prince Hadley was leading exercises and drills this morning. Also, several people brought morning reports to him as well. Princess Emnorawyn waited patiently, and when Prince Hadley turned his attention to her, her heart exploded out of her chest. If his mother had not told her of his interest, she would not have noticed anything. For the few minutes his eyes roamed over her, her eyes roamed over him. She could see well-trained muscles, lean jaw, bright blue eyes. His long hair was not straight like hers, but it wasn't curly either. The gentle waves framed his face. Prince Hadley took in the full-length armor and knew Princess Emnorawyn had to have strength just to walk in such armor. He cleared his throat. He had ridden all night, but he would not let his tiredness show. My lady, today you will train with the horsemen. I have a horse being prepared for you. Perhaps you train for horseback before your dragon rider training, and perhaps you would remember most of it. Princess Emnorawyn slightly nodded her head. While we wait for the horses to arrive, I will pair you against myself. We will be in the practicing square, he said as he motioned. Princess Emnorawyn looked over. A lot of little areas had been set out. The enclosures were not sturdy at all, but they served their purpose. Princess Emnorawyn headed to the area Prince Hadley had indicated. She watched others go in or out of the areas as she walked. They were ducking under the top rope and stepping over the lower rope. Princess Emnorawyn did not know how she was going to accomplish this, but as she neared the area, a guard ran up. Just a moment, said the guard. He lifted the top loop off the post, lowered the rope. Do you need the bottom one lowered as well? Emnorawyn gauged the height and then slightly shook her head. No, I think this will be fine. Emnorawyn hiked up the lower part of the armor like she would a dress, and like she did when she mounted Stygerguard. She threw her first leg over and then pulled her next leg over. She turned slightly, smiled, and nodded to the guard. Thank you very much. The guard returned her nod and then replaced the loop, which was simply a twist in the rope that lay on some nails, half driven in the sides of the post. Soon Prince Hadley joined her in the practice area. He handed her a practice rod. They took their positions across from each other and did a standard nod indicating they were ready. Princess Emnorawyn stood back and watched Prince Hadley. She made it a habit to never attack first. Prince Hadley circled around her. He was not sure where to attack, because she hadn't stayed in stance. He knew her eyes were watching him. Then he saw her close her eyes. He almost stopped. But instead he executed his maneuvers, and she blocked and rotated as necessary to meet him. He was shocked when she first blocked, so he changed his attack pattern in the middle, and she still met his strokes. When they came to a standoff, with each blocking the other, Princess Emnorawyn opened her eyes. Both were breathing heavily, although Princess Emnorawyn's was less noticeable. Prince Hadley slightly backed up and lay his rod across his left hand, slightly bowed his head to her. Princess Emnorawyn tossed her rod to her left hand and lay the other end across her right hand, and she bowed her head. She was glad the cream was aiding her hand, but the pain was near unbearable. My lady, I must apologize for my arrogance. Many teachers have always told me that dragon riders had more training than cavalry, but I arrogantly believed my training matched yours, and I felt I could aid your practice. Now I see the errors of my ways, and I will fetch a soldier who can do a better job. He is a commander, and I will return shortly. Princess Emnorawyn watched him retreat with his relaxed gait. She closed her eyes. In the past she had read several books which her father claimed were nonsensical, because he had never felt or acted like the men in the books, but her grandfather said his wife had read them, and they had benefited her. Princess Emnorawyn searched through her memory to find one. She did not offhand remember any male ever admitting inferiority of any kind. Sorrow? Yes. Apologies? Yes. But underskilled? No. Surely she could find some reason in her readings for Prince Hadley's strange behavior. Prince Hadley found Commander Offerton and explained to him what happened, and Princess Emnorawyn hadn't stayed in stance, was still able to meet his strokes. Commander Offerton explained how dragon riders could not move their lower half and had to be able to meet an enemy with the movements of their torso. He reminded Prince Hadley how he had to use his knees to grip the horse to stay on. Then he added how much more important that became when riding a dragon way up in the sky. At such heights, falling off your dragon was not an option. Prince Hadley thought about saying she had closed her eyes, but decided against it. Commander Offerton agreed to spar with Princess Emnorawyn, so they walked over to her together. Prince Hadley introduced Commander Offerton to her and told her she would practice with him. They got in stance and did their bows. When Commander Offerton went for her once again, she closed her eyes. Commander Offerton did a series of strokes, and then another series. He had never seen someone so well trained. He backed off and whispered to Prince Hadley to fetch Carlson and Bander, 2 lieutenants. Princess Emnorawyn opened her eyes while Commander Offerton spoke to the prince, but she closed them once again when he came at her. When the 2 lieutenants came, Commander Offerton motioned to them. Princess Emnorawyn's eyes flew open as she spun around and looked. She turned back to Commander Offerton and got in stance once again. Her heart thudded in her chest, and she could barely hear Commander Offerton over the beating sound in her ears. She thought he said, "Do not worry, you are ready for this." She closed her eyes once more and focused on finding her opponents. By this time, King Crante had made his way outside to oversee the soldiers' practice. Watching them practice helped him decide formations and positions for battle. His curiosity spiked when he saw 3 circling around his guest, Princess Emnorawyn. He motioned his son to himself for an update and status report. After the report, he concluded Princess Emnorawyn needed a second rod and sent his son to fetch one. Princess Emnorawyn was doing well. She even blocked behind herself. Granted, Commander Offerton and his 2 lieutenants were not attacking in the same order. When Prince Hadley returned, King Crante had them to stop so Prince Hadley could hand her the second rod. Prince Hadley tossed it to her. She opened her eyes and caught it with her left hand. That is when he remembered her tossing the rod to her left hand, and laying the other end in her right hand. She was not marrying him. She was letting him know that she was left or both-handed. He backed up to the fence without taking his eyes off her. King Conti knew her grandfather was heavily involved in her training. He remembered her father once telling him that he was not sure the extent of her training, but King Rems made sure she passed the basic test once his father said she was ready to be a dragon rider. Now it seemed the grandfather had trained her with the oldest and best methods. "Have you ever seen such?" Prince Hadley asked his father as he motioned. "Son, when you are in battle, an enemy can come from any and all sides. Every soldier knows that. On horseback, the enemies can come up on you faster. On dragonback, well, it's every direction, above, below, and from the sides. Dragons are known to have superior senses. The best trainers train dragon riders to utilize senses other than sight. Sometimes trainers blindfold their trainees." Prince Hadley thought of his father's words. He had actually seen dragon riders sparring with one or the other blindfolded, and he thought it was more of an equalizer. Now he recalled the descriptions of the human creatures they were to fight and realized the extra senses would be good. "I want this training," announced his father. King Conti raised his eyebrows. "We are leaving 7 mornings from now, counting this morning as morning 1. You could only start this training, and I need your help to organize." Prince Hadley sighed. "Yes, father." He turned his gaze back to watch. Excuse me. He turned his gaze back to watch Princess Emnorawyn for a few more minutes, and then turned to overseeing the training. In the evening, Prince Hadley was very tired, but he still approached Commander Offerton and asked him about the training. The first part sounded easy. Prince Hadley put on a blindfold and was to tell Commander Offerton which hand he raised. After 10 minutes, when Prince Hadley removed the blindfold, he was very startled to find Commander Offerton directly before him instead of the several paces as they had started. "I," started Prince Hadley. "I take it that you did not feel anything?" Prince Hadley stepped back a little. "I feel something right now," he said. "I feel you are way too close." "I agree," replied Commander Offerton. "But I was that close for several minutes before you removed the blindfold." "You said I was to try to feel you raise and lower your hands, did you?" "No, I don't suggest you walk up on a dragon rider. He or she will know you are there long before you are close enough to swing your sword." "Princess Emnorawyn, she could feel you approach in her sleep," said Commander Offerton. Commander Offerton laughed a little. "Yes, she is highly trained. One might question if it is only her senses, or perhaps she has a little magic. I was hoping some magic, and to you I'll confide my little knowledge that her magic is reformed. Perhaps it's as new as our trip here, but it seems to me that her discovery is new, and the magic has been stewing. Either way, her training is top-notch. I've spoken to our troops about their severe lack of discipline, and we are extending our hours tomorrow. I am going to consult with the princess tomorrow to see if she has some ideas of how we can practice the few days before our trip, and maybe even on the way to the Great Oak. It might be best if we stayed here and practiced a few extra days. We can easily catch up riding dragonback." Prince Hadley realized that Commander Offerton was reporting to him, and he needed to present the idea of dragon riders leaving later to his father. Prince Hadley nodded once. "Thanks for my lesson. I will come for more lessons after my duties and until we leave." "You are welcome for the lessons," replied Commander Offerton. Offerton. "The first time someone told me I needed to see without my eyes, I almost laughed at him. But that extra second or two I received from practicing such has saved my life on numerous occasions." Commander Offerton turned and left. Okay, writers, that is the end of chapter 5. Leave a comment on what senses you rely on, whether at night, in the mall, looking for your children looking for parents. Once I was in Walmart and a woman panicked because she couldn't find her child. I told her I would help, and I asked what the child was wearing. She responded, "I don't even know." My children could always find me in Walmart. I had 5 daughters. I would split my list, and each would go find certain things and bring them to me. And no matter where I was in the store, and this was before cell phones, no matter where I was in the store, they could find me. So in a way, you could say I was on my children's radar. So what senses do you use? Leave a comment on if you know any ambidextrous people, or leave a comment on what things you can do with your wrong hand. Leave a comment if you've ever seen the movie Blind Fury. Nick Parker was blind in that movie, but some villagers trained him to use his other senses. I believe the blindfold idea is also in several karate type movies. We take a little piece. I don't put in whole scenes from other people, but that's an idea. You take them, you use them, you weave them in. Okay, so join me Tuesday for some jargon and for us to continue with your story with a setting. Join me Friday for chapter 6 of Princess Emnorawyn Stygerguard. Visit my website by McKella, read some character bios. If you read some, then leave comments on which ones you've read. All your comments will help us start conversations and build our community. Keep all comments respectful. Remember that someone else's perspective can help you with your writing. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe and the bell so we can continue to write together and other people will have a higher chance finding this video and this channel, since your likes will push the video out to a greater audience. Thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate your participation. If you know someone who would like this video, please share it with them. This is McKella with Write with McKella. Bye for now.